Hi, okay, so for my rhetoric wrap up for Friday, we were asked to choose one of like the AP exams subjects and to write 5 tips about it. And so I chose argumentative essay. And I chose this because I honestly think that is my strongest point and like I think those are the easiest to write, but there are things that like you have to like make sure that you have to get a good grade on them. So for my first point, I said to read fully and to fully understand the prompt. And I think that you just really have to read through thoroughly and understand what they're asking you, understand what they're asking you to do, and just understand what argument you're trying to present and then what side you're like trying to persuade. And I know that there have been times where like I've read through and I just like don't I guess I don't like thoroughly read through enough, and so I just kind of like go off on a rampage, or like I accidentally mess up and like don't even do what it's asking me. And so when you have the AP exam, like you only have a certain amount of time and like you have to split it up accordingly, and so like you really need to make sure you use your time to the fullest and that you really are like using your time wisely. So that would be my first tip. And then my second tip was to pre-write and organize your argument. And I think this is the most important tip because I don't think that your paper will be good unless your pre-write's good. And I think this way you need to like make sure that your argument is easy to follow, because like these people who are reading it, they're reading so many and like they're going to be tired by the time they get to yours, and you just need to make sure that like it's easy to follow and you're really making your points and like the best of your writing. And so when you pre-write, I think that you can also write out your evidence and you can write out like your arguments, and you can start with your introduction and like kind of like just figure out what you want to say, how you want to say it, and like how you want to organize it. So for my third point, I said choose a clear and concise side, because you don't want to be like wishy-washy, especially when it's on an AP exam and it's for an argument that you're trying to persuade them for one side. So like when choosing your side, not even necessarily if you actually believe it, but like the one that you know most about and is going to be easiest to persuade and like easiest to get your like point across, because like even if you don't believe it, like that's okay, because like as long as you pass the AP exam. Um, and I think that's just really important, because if you don't have like you're clear and like you're clear on your side, then like it just like won't be good. For my fourth one, I said to have a strong intro, and I think that the introduction really like hooks the reader and really sets up like the tone for the rest of your paper. So I think that it's one of like the most important parts of an argumentative essay. And so I think that you need probably like strong diction, and you need to be like just make it interesting, and yeah, I mean just like make sure you have a good intro. And then for my fifth one, I said to reread. And I think that you just need to go back through and make sure you don't have any spelling errors, make sure that you are making sense with what you're saying, and just really be like thorough and sure with your checking and make sure that everything's good, because they're really like, I mean, they're not gonna like, they know you're on a time crunch and like they're gonna make sure that like they're leaning on like spelling and grammar and stuff, but like you still want to make sure, because I think when you write an argumentative essay, that like someone who's gonna actually believe what you're saying, like you want to present yourself as an ethical person and like make sure that you present yourself in a well manner, because I mean no one's gonna want to like choose the side if someone's arguing that isn't really smart or like doesn't really know what they're saying and like doesn't do that great of a job. And so I think that like reading through will help you make sure that you cover each of those points. But those were my 5 points, and I hope that helped. But I really think that when I'm writing my argumentative essay, that's like 5 things that I would really follow. And I also just kind of like looked up these tips and like, but I truly believe in them too. So, yep, thank you for watching.